Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Presented by DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
The time has come, it's very clear. The car you want is really here. It's delightful, it's lovely, it's DeSoto. You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you want to buy. It's delightful, it's lovely, it's DeSoto.
And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couplets. Is that right?
That's probably the French pronunciation.
Oh, well, what is it?
Couples.
Oh, couples. Here you are for one of our couples, yes. And if any of them say the secret word, the duck will come down and pay him $101 to avoid tonight his table. All right. How is it they didn't eat you for Christmas? Beat it. George, who's first on the agenda?
Oh, Mrs. Pearl.
Is that right, agenda?
Agenda, yes.
What does that mean?
List.
I've got a little agenda from Gilbert and Sullivan, would you say that? Someday it may happen that a victim must be found. I've got a little agenda. That doesn't make sense.
No.
List.
A roster.
Oh, a roster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's, isn't that a male chicken, a roster? You know Franz Liszt, when he was born, that's what his mother sang. I've got a little list, I've got a little list.
Mrs. Pearl Runyon and Mr. Charles Pierce are waiting to talk to you, Groucho. Folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and you each take home an extra $50.50. It's a common word, something you would normally find around the house. Now, let's see. Pearl Onion and Charles Pierce, eh? Well, I'll start with you. Where are you from?
From the great state of Kentucky, Groucho. Born in Belfry,
Some
Pike
moonshiners
County,
out front, I see. What was that again? Give me that.
I was born in Belfry, Pike County, Kentucky.
Pike County, Kentucky, eh?
Yes, sir.
Are you married?
I'm single, Groucho.
You're single, Groucho, eh? Well, that's certainly a new state of matrimony. What sort of business are you in?
Well, I'm in politics.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, I'm a Democrat.
In that case, there they are, the same moonshiners applauding. How long have you been in Kentucky politics, Pearl?
Well, I have held office 22 years.
What are you doing in Hollywood, Pearl?
Well, one of the things, I have been asked to commission you a Kentucky colonel by Governor Lawrence Weatherby, Groucho.
Me, a colonel?
While visiting here in Hollywood, yes.
Isn't a colonel the inside of a nut? Why me? What have I done for Kentucky other than staying out of the state?
Oh, well, you've given a lot of people a great deal of pleasure in Kentucky by your...
Well, what is your job in state politics?
Well, presently, I am state treasurer of Kentucky.
State treasurer? What are you doing this far west? Are you skipping to the South Seas? Well, forget those mad plans and fly with me to Alaska. We'll have a little love nest made of $10 bills.
Wonderful.
Your name is, let's see, Charles Pierce, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you one of the Pierce brothers?
No, I'm not one of those.
You're not. Do you know who the Pierce brothers are?
Yeah, they were the Undertakers.
Well, they still are, I imagine. It's not a dead issue yet, you know.
Not the same line of business. I correct people's health and make them look young.
I see.
Even to get old.
Oh, well, that's very... How old are you, Charlie?
89.
89? Why did you come to Hollywood, Charlie? Were you sick of fresh air?
No. I came here for my health.
You came for your health? What an optimist, eh? Obviously, you don't know much about California. How long have you been here?
55 years.
Well, that's a great tribute to our climate. You must have been living in an airtight jar for the last 55 years. Charlie, you look sound as a dollar.
Yes, sir. I am. Feel fine.
Now, the time has come to stop talking and start making some money.
Yes.
We start you off with $100, and if you miss a question, you lose half of your bankroll. And we only want one answer between you on the answers. Now, you selected American history. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with? The little sums are easy questions, and the big sums are hard questions.
70.
$70. From what country did the United States originally obtain the Philippine Islands?
Spain.
Spain is right.
You now have $170.
Now, what are you going to go for?
80.
80.
$80. President Jefferson bought some land from Napoleon that eventually became Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, and parts of 9 other states. What was this important acquisition called?
Louisiana.
Louisiana Purchase.
Louisiana Purchase is right.
You now have $250.
What do you want to try now? Little one or a big one?
90.
90.
90. In 1801, one of the Barbary states declared war on the United States for refusing to pay tribute to their pirates. What Barbary state was this? One answer now. What was the name of the Barbary state?
Spain.
No, it was Tripoli.
You lost half your $250. You now have $125.
All right, you're still in good shape.
100.
100? 50? Or 100? The first direct tax levied by England on her American colonies was a tax on newspapers, almanacs, pamphlets, and legal documents. What was this objectionable act called?
The Tea Act, the tea embargo on tea
Boston.
in the Massachusetts. And,
Give us an answer.
tea was the...
No, I'm sorry, Charlie, you were flirting with her, but it was the Stamp Act.
You wind up with $62.50.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't win more. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you.
And a Happy New Year.
Now, Groucho, I'd like to introduce...
Just a minute, George. I want to talk about my new DeSoto. I just drove it down from the house, and I drove it to Palm Springs the other day. And it is just great. I've never had a car that I'm so crazy about. It's so big and roomy and comfortable, and it's got so many little wonderful things on it, too, in addition to the great power and the class of this car. You know, like a clock on the steering wheel. And it doesn't be wound, and it's not by electricity. As you turn the wheel, the clock automatically winds itself. And the seats go back and forth and up and down, and even little things like the windshield mirror. You know, sometimes you get a glare from the car in back here. And this has a device on. You turn this, and it makes it dark, and you can see the lights, but there's no flash there at all. No, I just can't tell you how crazy I am about it. It's the greatest car I ever drove. And I would say this if I wasn't working for the DeSoto people.
You say it very often, you'll put me out of a job, too, you know.
I meant to ask you a question. How do you like your new car?
Well, everything you've said about it, I second. I think if I had to pick out any one feature of the car, I think the push-button driving is one of the greatest things that's ever been invented.
I want you to take my advice and go in and see the new DeSoto. If you see it, you'll buy it.
Groucho, we have a young married couple for you now. They're Mr. and Mrs. Horn. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to Your Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and take home an extra $101. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. and Mrs. Victor Horn, eh? You say your name is Horn? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Very attractive couple, huh? I just wanted to do what Magellan did and go around the horn. Horn, eh? Victor, what kind of a name is Horn?
Well, it was originally Dutch. It was Van Horn.
Oh.
They cut off the Van.
I see. What is your first name? Louis Armstrong?
It's Lorraine Horn.
Lorraine, huh? Sweet Lorraine, is that you?
Well, I don't know.
That's a fairly marked accent, Lorraine. Are you from the South?
Yes, from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Johannesburg? Well, you see, I could tell you were from the South. Just happened to be South Africa, that's... Are you from Johannesburg, too?
Yes.
Are you from Dixie?
Johannesburg.
Oh. Could you tell us how you met this dish, Mr. Horn?
Yes. I was invited to a party through a mutual friend of ours, and that's where I met her, at the party.
Well, you went there without a girl?
Yes, I went there with the intention of picking up a dish,
What, were you a waiter?
No. I was a fireman at the time.
You were a fireman? You climbed in the window and met her?
No, I was invited.
Oh. What are you and Vic doing here in California?
We started out on an extended honeymoon.
On a honeymoon?
Well, the idea is there's about 3 men to every woman back home, so the only thing I could do was pack her up and take her out of the country.
You say that there are 3 men for each girl?
Approximately,
You
yes.
hear that, all you single girls out front? There's a boat lease for South Africa in about 30 minutes. Well, would you say the percentage was the other way in this country?
Well, according to statistics we have read, it's about 3 women to every man.
In this country?
Yes.
Well, some miser is holding out on my quota. You're nice people, and I think you'd be a big help to this country if you remained here in the United States. All right, well, let's play You Bet Your Life and see how much you can win.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple won $62.50, and the secret word is table.
Did anybody explain the rules to you?
Yes, I think so.
Well, let's go, and all kidding aside, I hope you win a lot of money.
Thank you.
And if you must go back to South Africa, I hope you leave Larry here. You selected the dictionary quiz, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Don't you think she's pretty?
I certainly do, yeah.
Well, look at her.
I've been looking at her up there.
You can admire her hair, too, you know. Would you be offended if Laurie kissed Mr. Fenneman?
Oh, yes, I think I would.
Well, I just meant a kind of a brotherly brush on the cheek. I didn't mean a...
It's these brothers I took her away from back in South Africa.
Well, George, give me the dollar you promised me. Come on now.
Nobody will believe me now.
Don't say I didn't try, George.
You certainly have.
Boy, I never worked hard in my life for a dollar that I didn't get, huh? All right, one answer between you on every question. Now, what do you want to start with? 10 to 100. You can have your choice. The little ones are easy. The large ones are difficult.
$70.
$70, huh? What is legerdemain? Talk it
I
over.
heard it.
Legerdemain. Legerdemain.
It sounds like something legal.
No, it's sleight of hand, magic. It's a very common word.
Well, you still have $50.
Now, what are you going to go for? 60, 80,
At
90,
least
40?
60, yeah.
What is another name for a merry-go-round?
Carousel.
That's right, carousel or whirligig.
You now have $110.
All right. What do you want to try now?
Okay, let's go.
How much? 80?
80, okay.
All right. What do you call the V-shaped tray or trough used to carry mortar or bricks?
Trestle, is it? Trowel.
V-shaped. Well, it's hod. H-O-D.
Oh,
Did you never hear of a hod carrier?
You now have $55.
Well, you still have another chance. What do you want to try?
I think we make it high 90.
90?
Yeah, okay.
All right. If a philatelist collects stamps, what does a numismatist collect? If you don't know, guess.
Well, it sounds like coins.
It is right, coins. Don't go any further.
And you wind up with $145.
I want you to certainly get as far as Burbank. Thanks, and Happy New Year from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you
I'm
very
sorry you won't this
Rocco, Mrs. Verna White and Mr. Eugene Mariani are waiting to talk to you. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word, and you'll divide $101. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Verna White and Eugene Mariani, eh? Verna, I'll start with you. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Chicago, the north side of Chicago.
That's those bootleggers again out there, huh? You were born in Chicago?
Uh-huh.
Why did you come to California, Verna? Did you fall for all that double talk from the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I thought the weather'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was one reason you were fooled. Are there any others?
Well, I thought the rooms would be large, and it would be a chance for us to manufacture our large king-size beds.
Now, just a moment. You think the rooms are larger here than they are in Chicago?
I think so.
Why? How did you arrive at that conclusion?
I think there's more space here.
Well, you mean in the home or in the street or where?
All over.
All over.
Uh-huh.
All over the street, huh? Well, what kind of beds do you make?
Well, we own White and Pebley Company. We're manufacturers of the large king-size beds.
You make a living making king-size beds?
All different
That's rather a
custom
limited
beds.
field, isn't it? How many kings are there left? Why don't you just try making ex-king-size beds? One bed big enough for Farouk would set you up for life.
We did make a bed for a king, for the Maharaja of Morvi. And it was 10 foot wide and 10 foot long.
Now, how much did it cost him?
Over $5,000.
Well, that
It's a
isn't
beautiful
much
bed.
for a king, is it? $5,000 for a bed. If I paid that much for it, it would be a sheer waste of money. I'd never be able to sleep if I paid that much. You know, with a bed that size, I'd be exhausted just crawling to the edge to put my slippers on. What are some of the unusual beds you've constructed, Verna?
We've made beds with toasters in them and
Well, that's-
hi-fis and TVs built in. We made a piano-shaped bed for Liberace.
Liberace? Who's Liberace?
He plays the piano. He's a marvelous artist.
Plays piano in bed? I don't understand this. Where does he play this piano?
I don't know. All over, everywhere.
All over the bed he plays a piano? Well, Vina, you crawl into one of your creations and take a nap while I get acquainted with your partner here, eh? Moby Dick here, eh? Your name is Eugenie Mariani?
Yes, sir, Groucho.
That's a pretty fancy moniker you've got there, isn't it, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, Groucho, I usually go under the name of Gypsy Jean, is what I'm referred to.
Gypsy Jean?
Yes, sir.
You sound more like Pinky Lee. What kind of a job have you got, Gene?
Oh, right now I'm just working for parking lot attendant and entertainer.
Parking lot attendant and entertainer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a peculiar combination, isn't it? Well, what do? Do you entertain in parking lots?
No, right now I am the mayor of Muscle Beach.
Well, you must spend a lot of time sleeping if you're a mayor, aren't you?
Yes,
Would you be interested in a private king-size bed?
Yes, Groucho. Well, I have the whole beach and I have the stars above to sleep in.
You have the stars above, huh?
Yeah, to look at.
That may be true, but her beds over here have TV sets, hi-fi, coffee makers, and toasters. What has your bed got?
Grunion's, Groucho.
You can't argue with that, Gene. That's one thing I've always wanted to do, go grunion hunting in bed. Well, getting back to your job as mayor, Gene, just what are your duties?
Well, as my duties, Groucho, I usually entertain the tourists, especially the girls. And I play a uke, and I just composed a song. It's called Gypsy Jean from the Gypsy Jean theme. So would you like to hear it, Groucho?
Frankly, I'm not crazy about it. Doesn't this require some musical instrument?
Yes, Groucho, I just have a ukulele right over here. Would you like me? I
brought it
carry
down here with you?
I usually carry it with me, sir.
You carried it at the parking lot, too?
Right in the parking lot. I even entertain my customers in
Well,
it.
what do you sing? Parking is a sweet sorrow? Huh?
No, I just sing my song, Gypsy Jean.
Oh.
Would you
George,
like
Mr. Fenneman, would you tote Mr. Mariani's instrument out here?
Okay, thank you, sir.
George, you did that mighty nice.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you. Make it short, Gene.
Yeah, okay, taxpayers.
Oh, this dialogue goes with this, too.
The gypsy, so happy, contented they seem, especially the king of the gypsy. His name is Gypsy Jean. The birds wake him up in the morning. The haystack music, it's making music. Beneath the twinkling stars so bright, the mountains.
Gene, that was mighty good, and I predict that song will sweep the country.
Thank you, sir.
And believe me, this country could use a good sweeping. Well, we're going to play You Bet Your Life. You both know how to play this game?
Yes, sir.
In the race for the $1,000, the second couple is leading with $145.
The little questions are easy, and the big questions are hard. Now, you selected the musical category. These are all top tunes of the last 20 years. Remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, you can start with 10, 20, all the way up to 100. What are you going to start with?
100.
100. All right, Burke and Van Heusen composed this song in 1940. Give me the title of it. Okay, Jack.
Sorry, Groucho. I don't think I know that one.
Well, I don't know it either, but it's imagination.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's a difficult question, but that's a lot of money,
I
Gene.
know.
Well, you still have $50.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now, what do you want to try this time? 90? 80?
80.
Easy? Easy ones?
Okay, 90.
90. In 1939, Hoagie Carmichael turned out this ballad. Let's see if you can identify it. Talk it over.
Oh, I'm sorry, Groucho. It's my fault. No.
Well, I'm sorry, but this isn't too hard. I get along without you very well.
You now have $25.
25.
What are you going to go for? 80?
What do you want this way?
Go on, you're dead anyhow. You might just well go for 80.
Yeah.
All right, 80.
All right, 80.
All right, this song was popular in the early part of 55. Now, this is real current. Now, you ought to know this.
No.
Give me the title of it.
I should know.
One of you. I'll have to get him a song of 1956, I think.
I'm sorry, Groucho.
Well, it's Sincerely.
Sincerely.
You now have $12.50.
Oh, well, let it go.
Well, we just well go to 70, I guess. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Bob Wills wrote this Western song that was popular a few years ago.
I know it, Groucho. No.
No, I'm sorry. It's San Antonio Road.
You wind up with $6.25.
Eugene, I'm going to give you one question. You get it right, and we bring your winnings up to $25. Are you ready? What color was the old gray mare?
Green.
Green is right. Get the money. Thanks, and a Happy New Year from the Total Plymouth Dealers. I'm sorry you didn't win this. We have to take that.
And that means that Mr. and Mrs. Horn with $145 in just 1 minute get the chance at the $1,000 question.
George Fenneman, something just occurred to me. I've heard everyone else sing the song about the new DeSoto, but I've never heard you sing it. How come?
I can't sing.
George, any 9-year-old child can sing a great song like this one. In fact, I happen to have a 9-year-old child who goes around the house all the time singing it. Melinda. Are you ready? Well, then, let's go. The time has come. It's very clear. The car you wanted is really here.
It's delightful, it's lovely, it's a sorrow.
You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you'll want to buy.
It's delightful, it's lovely, it's a sorrow. You can tell at a glance that this last car
great big engine murmuring low. So make sure you see and drive the new DeSoto. Why, man alive,
It's delightful.
it's the lovely,
It's delirious.
it's delectable,
It's the latest.
it's the limit,
It's the last.
it's DeSoto.
Well, Groucho, maybe I can't sing about the new DeSoto, but I can remind you that DeSoto sales are the greatest in history. And because of that, your DeSoto dealer can offer you a wonderful deal right now. Drive a DeSoto. Price a DeSoto before you decide on any other car. And now, Groucho, here's the winning couple. Mr. and Mrs. Horn, all set for the $1,000 question. Right out here, please.
Well, here they are, back from Africa. Huh? Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. For almost 600 years, the Turks ruled a vast empire that was broken up at the end of the First World War. For $1,000, what was this Turkish empire called? Talk it over. If you don't know, guess.
Tunisia?
No, it's the Ottoman Empire. I'm sorry, so that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, they lost the big money. How much they win the quiz, George?
$145 in the quiz.
Well, I'm sorry, you didn't win more. Congratulations and Happy New Year to all of our contestants on the show tonight. Friends, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
Be sure to tune in again next week, same time, same station, for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Don't miss Chrysler Corporation's big television show on another network. And don't forget to listen to Groucho on radio every Wednesday. Brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. This is George Fenneman signing off with a reminder from the National Safety Council. Watch for ice patches on seemingly dry pavement, especially around curves, beyond hill crests, on bridges, and in shaded spots.